Sadhguru, to go back to the practical realm of politics and governance, you have a real challenge in the country today. There's no point skirting over that. You go to any party leader, any legislator in the country, an MLA or MP, or any chief minister or opposition leader, privately they all have the same lament. They say, look, I want to do something good, but without spending crores of rupees to buy the vote, I'm not able to get elected. Without putting up crooks and criminals as candidates in many places, my party does not have a chance of getting those seats. But once I get those people in this manner, I am helpless because then I am caught in a vicious cycle. I am caught in a vicious cycle. I cannot get out of it. Now, what do I do? I know this is a self-created problem. After all, the political process that ought to be the solution has become the problem over a period of time. Partly because we centralized power, partly because we gave an illusion to people that a monarch is elected, a king is elected, not a representative to get things done through due process of law. Partly because we have not really ensured even simple delivery of services, a birth certificate, a ration card, without some bakshees or sifarish, nothing happens. So we have a complex mess.
You don't have money, you're not born. Just understand.
You're not born, absolutely. One famous cricket star, when he was actually a test cricketer, he told me of a story in Bengaluru. There was a death in the family. He went to the municipal office for a death certificate. And he wanted immediately. They said, no, you can collect it tomorrow by paying 50 rupees. Then he asked the lady at the counter, look, I have to go on a West Indies tour tonight, the test team. He was a very famous test cricketer. I will give you 100 rupees now. Can you give the certificate now? She said, yes. So one thing nice about corruption is it's totally socialist. Cricket star or influential person or a poor person, it applies universally. There is a huge problem.
If you play 250 rupees, you can get it even if the person is not dead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Add a few more zeros, you can actually kill the person. But Sadhguru, given this context, unless some big changes are initiated, one, trusting our people to take care of their lives and their communities locally, empowering the community so that leadership emerges and they understand responsibility and limits, but with a danda. Some things go wrong, you punish them very firmly, but people start taking responsibility.
Now, you must define the word community.
It could be a
challenge
village,
on that.
a village, a ward, whatever.
That is not community. My religion is my community. My caste is my community. My family, my mama and his sons are my community. My village is not my community. My ward, what are you talking about? I don't know. My community is my blood. So, the definition of community has to change, which is not easy work. Because we have not done that work, these things work best if it is done. These people, there are parties and there is administration. In Indian mind, these three things are distinctly separate. This distinction should go. There is no people, party and administration. There is people, people and people. This is what a democracy means. People who are sitting here in this chair, tomorrow could be walking the street campaigning for a party, day after tomorrow they could be in that chair. This is what democracy means, that you are here today, tomorrow you could be there. So this distinction has to go. These are all easier said than done, to remove these distinctions, to make people understand, because how many people can you even talk to in this country? Because you know only 2 languages. Yes? Maybe I know 3 languages, but how many people will you speak? There are 16, 24 languages in the country. Who are you going to speak? Who are you going to leave out? So there are these issues. There are these issues, but it is very, very important. However corrupt, however nonsensical, however rubbish it is important to strengthen 2 or 3 national parties. Otherwise there will be no India after 50 years, there will be many countries.
Sadhguru, I actually entirely agree with you, and Lok Satta and I have been always articulating the need to strengthen national parties. The tragedy is they are their worst enemies. So we do require to transform politics. That's why I was so repeatedly pleading that
I don't
unless
blame
we
you at
find an
all.
answer,
I wouldn't like to join any national party because we know what's happening and the way it's conducted.
So how do
but
we-
that is the reality of our nation.
but unless we transform them, that's the reason why I'm pushing this today, unless the pressure comes from the spiritual gurus, from the civil society, from media, that the need of the hour is not merely replacing one with the other, but actual transformation of the nature of politics and building a framework for the unity of India. I entirely agree with you. So
I'm privately,
there I
not
get-
publicly,
privately.
not announcing to people,
Whatever it takes.
giving them that privacy. Privately, we are slowly trying to transform many political leaders in the country. We have successfully worked with a few people, others are slowly coming in. But it's still a long process, it's not something that will happen overnight. And India, a country like India cannot be turned around overnight. If we work as a generation of people, maybe we'll leave a little better country for the next generation. That's where we need to look at. The significant thing… I'm sorry.
Please, after I complete, that's what we'll leave.
The most significant thing right now in the nation is people have come to a place where they're willing to give up their caste, creed, ideology, everything for economic well-being. This may be described as greed by certain people. I see it as a possibility. There is only one ethos. Everybody wants to do economically well. This is an opportunity to transform the nation. When they're economically down, you ask them to leave their religion and come beyond that. You ask them to leave their caste and creed and come beyond that, they will not come because that net is a security. Belonging to a certain caste, belonging to a certain religion, belonging to a certain community has been their security for centuries, for thousands of years. Suddenly you ask them to come out, they won't come. Only if you throw up a big opportunity and a dream out there, people will crawl out of those nets, risking their life. So economic opportunity is the most important thing right now. Personally, it leaves this taste in my mouth to go on talking and pitching for economic possibilities because that's not going to transform human life. But right now, if nation has to crawl out of the pit, social, economic and political pit it is in, right now I see the only solution is economic development should happen. It'll come at various costs will be there. There will be a price to pay for that. But we must pay the price, otherwise we'll stagnate where we are.
Sadhguru, that practical wisdom actually is music to my ears. Unless we have such unrelenting focus on economic growth and rapid economic growth, I entirely agree, both political and social problems will only be exacerbated.